So I want to make this video to present the opposing side of things that comes out and often gets dismissed as being rebellious or being, wanting to better themselves. And there are people in organized groups who come from mostly a religious background, or they come from an educational background, or they have some kind of degree or certification that shows some type of level of skill where they're able to take their skills that they learn and apply it to real life. And what I find in common, like therapists, as example, counselors, what I find in common with a lot of these types of groups is they have some good-hearted individuals, but they're overshadowed by the ones who are misrepresenting it. So for every good therapist, you're going to have more therapists who are the representation. For every good Christian, you're going to have more so-called Christians who are the misrepresentation, and the list goes on. So what I would encourage you guys to do who are individuals in any of these groups who mean well and really want to help the masses of people out here is to first build a relationship foundationally, at least know their name before you start attacking their condition. At least understand where they're coming from and try to relate with them and reason with them and show the grace and mercy that is provided. Because the reality is a lot of people are rebellious for their own reasons, but most people are rebellious because they see misrepresentation. True story. And they also see silence from those people who are on paper and behind scenes doing it the right way, if you will. They're not saying anything to them. They'll tell you to turn the other cheek. But when it comes to these people who claim the same thing, they will not say a word because they're afraid of the political climate. They're afraid of being banned. And when it comes down to it, it's like the stances are not equal. If you're going to be, all in and where it's convenient, then have that same energy when it's inconvenient. And a lot of the masses of people are not seeing consistency, and they're seeing more hypocrisy. So, of course, people who don't want to hear this are going to say, well, that's an excuse. They're making excuses. These people just don't want to do right. And they're going to come up with all these theories. The reality is, guys, if you've ever sat down and just listened and stopped talking, because the true story is the standard of your approach is the same as somebody who's misrepresenting. The only difference is you might show a little more love and empathy. They don't see a difference in you. I've listened to people who struggle with these things. And when you do more listening to understand rather than listening to respond, you actually build a better relationship. When people can look at you and see that no matter what flaws you deal with, but you attract those people to you and they open up to you organically rather than you putting your belief onto them, that is how you build relationships. And the reason why we have a lot of trouble is people are putting way too much emphasis on their beliefs onto someone without understanding the root of their condition, without understanding the patterns that enabled them to be who they are. So as an example, somebody could see someone playing a video game like Grand Theft Auto and start condemning them and then be like, hey, this video has violence. This video is opening your mind up to this and that. And the whole time they didn't understand that this child was getting bullied and this was their outlet to release that rage and anger because they knew if I did this in real life, I would kill somebody, right? That's something they might think is getting bullied. So Grand Theft could be an outlet. Is it the most healthiest outlet? No. Do you want to see them rather go do something like exercise, maybe read a book or something more in line with what you view as positive? If that is your ultimate goal, then meet them where they're at. Ask them what excites them about the video game before you condemn them. Ask them why are they playing the video game. These are things you don't do. These are basic things. This is called communication by listening as opposed to talking. And so many of you talk so much, no one hears you. The message goes one ear to the other. It's the heart that you have to look at and assess with kindness and be very strategic. If a surgeon goes in and replaces somebody's organ or body part or whatever, they have to be very careful. One wrong move can end everything, right? Same thing, you have to be strategic and careful at how you are putting or pouring into someone else. And if you don't do that with grace, you don't do that with relationship building, you're going to turn a lot of people off and it becomes more contagious than the spreading for the good that you intended to be. So I close with this. Just remember, before you got to where you are, you were them. And where you're at now, you are still them. It's just you've matured in certain aspects. There are other aspects that you struggle because none of us are perfect. So as long as you're humbled enough to understand that, you got to be giving people more grace. It's not your job to be judge and jury. You can take it how you want. But if you want results, the people will come to you. And they'll come to you based on your actions and the aurora you give off.